Manchester United have other names they are more keen to pursue when the transfer window reopens. Instead of Juventus defender Gleisen Bremer, Manchester United have chosen not to include Gleisen Bremer among their primary targets after making plans for the summer transfer window. Key decision-makers at Old Trafford have advanced in their pursuit of alternative targets instead of the Juventus central defender. The Brazil international is being valued at £69 million by his current employers, and a cut-price deal has been ruled out. Manchester United are not prioritizing a summer move for Juventus star Gleisen Bremer, as key figures at Old Trafford have already made more progress in their bid to land alternative defensive targets. Ahead of the transfer window reopening, GivenSport sources have revealed the Red Devils have entered a new era thanks to Sir Jim Ratcliffe completing his purchase of a 25% stake in the club last month, following lengthy and complicated negotiations with the Glazer family, and they have started putting plans in place for recruitment. Despite there being doubt over Erik ten Hag's future in the dugout, the Dutch tactician has been informed that ceiling qualification for the Champions League is the leading goal for the remainder of the campaign, putting him under increasing amounts of pressure, and discussions over his future will be held with Manchester United's new-look hierarchy during the summer. Juventus have slapped £69 million price tag on Brazil international. Manchester United have not pinpointed Bremer as one of their first-choice targets, despite being in the hunt for fresh options at the heart of their backline, according to GMS sources, and the key decision-makers behind the scenes are further advanced in their pursuit of alternative options. Juventus currently value the Brazil international in the region of £69 million and will head into the summer transfer window in a strong negotiating position, as he does not have a release clause written into his contract, which allows him to pocket more than £150,000 per week and has 4 more years to run. GivenSport key statistic: Gleisen Bremer has made 3 or more tackles in 7 Serie A outings this season, with his highest tally of 6 coming during Juventus' 2-1 victory over Frosinone in December. Bremer being on a long-term agreement at the Allianz Stadium could complicate matters for Manchester United if they look to strike a deal, as a response to being frustrated in their hunt to acquire other centre-backs. While it is understood that reports that his current employers would be willing to accept a bid worth £43 million are wide of the mark, although GivenSport sources have been informed that it would not be impossible for Manchester United to turn their attentions towards the 27-year-old if his services are offered to them through agents. No progress over a potential deal has been made at this stage, and speculation over his future are predominantly coming from Italy. GivenSport sources recently revealed that Jared Branthwaite has been earmarked as a standout defensive target by Manchester United scouts after Ten Hag was keen to gain information on centre-backs currently in the Premier League, and there is confidence that the Everton man will become available regardless of whether his current employers stave off relegation to the Championship. The 21-year-old earned a maiden call-up to the senior England squad for the friendlies against Brazil and Belgium due to his consistent performances since breaking into the forefront of Toffee's boss Sean Dyche's plans, and statistics highlight that he has been posting better figures than Bremer in various departments this season. Jared Branthwaite's statistical averages per 90 minutes this season compared to Gleisen Bremer, but Manchester United could face difficulties when it comes to attempting to land Branthwaite, as he committed his long-term future to Everton in October when he penned a Maguire, Shaw, Martinez. Manchester United injury news and return dates ahead of Brentford. Man United will be back in Premier League action this weekend after the international break. As they look to chase down the Champions League qualification spots, Erik ten Hag will be breathing a sigh of relief as Manchester United prepare for the return of the Premier League this weekend after the international break. Though the Reds did not escape the break without new injury issues, ten Hag's side traveled to Brentford on Saturday, knowing a victory could put the pressure on those above in the race for Champions League qualification. Before this weekend's matches, United sit 9 points outside the traditional top 4 spots in the Premier League. However, England looks set to gain an extra Champions League spot this season thanks to UEFA's decision to expand the competition. 2 extra places will be handed to the top 2 nations in the coefficient rankings that England currently leads comfortably. Therefore, 5th place would also be enough for a spot in the Champions League, and there is just a 6-point gap between United, 6th, and Tottenham Hotspur, 5th. With the season still alive, Men's Sport has rounded up the latest injury news from Old Trafford. Harry Maguire injury. Unknown what we know, Maguire was substituted early in the defeat to Brazil and was limping as he exited the pitch. England confirmed after the game he had left the Three Lions training camp and was back with United. Luke Shaw injury. Muscular what we know. United's fullback sustained a muscle injury in February which was thought would keep him out of action for just a few months. However, Gareth Southgate admitted the defender was in a race against the clock to return to full fitness before the end of the season. Potential return date, unknown. Lisandro Martinez injury, knee. What we know, the popular Argentinian defender may have received a boost this week, with the Daily Mail reporting the defender returned to England early after spending some time with his international teammates. This has fueled speculation that he could return to the playing squad sooner rather than later. Potential return date, April. Casemiro injury, muscular what we know. The Brazilian midfielder sustained a muscle injury before the clash with Liverpool in the FA Cup. Ten Hag insisted at the time he would be a big miss. Potential return date, unknown. Johnny Evans injury, knock what we know. Evans suffered a minor knock before the international break but should be fit for the Premier League's return this weekend. Potential return date, March 30th versus Brentford. Altay Bayender injury. Muscular what we know. Bayender suffered a minor muscle strain before the international break but is expected to be available for action soon. Potential return date, March 30th